As per discussion, in this session, we will discuss about bank, meaning of bank, types of bank, meaning of commercial bank, functions performed by commercial bank. Let's start with bank. What is a bank? Bank is known as a fiscal agent. In public finance, we have seen what do we mean by the term fiscal. Fiscal means anything which is related with income and expenditure. So who is a bank? Bank is a fiscal agent. And how do we define the term bank? Any financial institution performing these two functions, acceptance of deposits and advancement of loans simultaneously together, it is to be called as a bank. Let's assume that there is a given financial institution. They are performing only one function of accepting deposits from the public, or they are here for the purpose of lending only. So that financial institution will not be called as a bank. But any financial institution, if they are going to have these two functions together, in that condition only, this financial institution will be called as a bank. So to conclude, we may say that all financial institutions are not bank, but definitely all banks are to be called as a financial institution. If we are here to see, you can see that commercial bank, HDFC, ICICI, they are all fall under the category of a bank. But LIC, it is not to be called as a bank. LIC is a financial institution because it performs only one function. And what is a bank? They perform all these two functions together. So this is the meaning of the term bank. Now we are here to discuss about various types of a bank. On a broader sense, we are here to discuss about two types of banks, that is commercial bank and a central bank. Commercial bank, a bank which deals with the public, and a central bank, that is a bank of a country. Each country has got one central bank and it is to be called as an apex institute. About central bank we will discuss in next lesson, but not today. Let's discuss about commercial bank and its functions. Meaning of commercial bank. You all know what is the meaning of bank, and now what is the meaning of a commercial bank? To extend with the same definition, any bank who is performing these two functions, advancement of loans and acceptance of deposits, for whom? For public. Commercial bank is what? The one who deals with public. And what is the purpose of this commercial bank? Because commercial banks are to be defined as a company, as a business enterprise. Business enterprise, they are working for profit maximization. Where there is a business, their motive is going to have profit maximization. So commercial bank is a financial institution who perform various functions. The first is how to accept deposits and advancement of loans from whom or to whom, that is to have with the dealing with public only, with one purpose, to have profit maximization, that is to be called as a commercial bank. So any bank who is dealing with public, any business company, any financial company who is dealing with the public is to be called as a commercial bank. Now after discussing about its meaning, let's discuss about its functions. To start with, all type of commercial banks perform three type of functions. The first is primary function, second is agency function, and the third is general utility functions. In today's session, we will discuss about primary functions. Primary functions, acceptance of deposits and advancing of loans. How do a commercial bank accept deposits from the public, and how do a commercial bank lends money to the public? Let's see various ways of accepting and lending. First, acceptance of deposits. A commercial bank accepts deposits from the public in two ways. The first is time deposit, or it is to be called as a term deposit. The second is your demand deposit. Now what do we have in demand deposit? It is of two types: saving account, current account. As it is clear from the term demand deposit, the deposit which can be withdrawn as per demand, as per the need of a customer. So we have its two types: saving account and current account. Students, we have seen in the chapter factors of production what is the importance of saving. If savings are here, only then it is possible to have any kind of economic activity. We can have capital formation, industrialization. Without saving, there is no economic life. So saving is the first thing to start with economic activity. And to whom we are going to, we call it as saving. Y is equal to C plus S. We know this, that income is divided into two parts: consumption plus saving. So what is the saving? It is a difference between income minus consumption. So whatever surplus amount you have, if the customer is going to keep that amount with the bank, it is to be called as a saving. The purpose to give this facility is just to make you addicted, make you habitual, to inculcate the habit of saving among people. The bank has started this facility because we know each credit facility, each kind of economic transaction, it's to be done by bank, and bank is a fiscal agent, and for that to start up with activity, bank needs saving. So saving account is for a common man to keep their surplus amount with the bank, and it is possible for them to get it withdrawn as per their need. The rate of interest is low, but this one is sufficient to motivate the people ki yes, if they are going to keep their money, surplus money with the bank, they are going to generate interest out of that. On the other hand, what do we have? Current account. Current account is purposely meant for a businessman only. It is not meant for a common man. The one who is having a business, this facility bank has given to them. You know, a businessman is in need of money 24/7. So whenever a businessman, if they are holding a current account, what the facility they will get? They can visit to a bank at any number of time, at any time during bank working hours. This is the difference in saving account and current account. If you are saving account holder, your entry to the bank is there for a restricted hours only, for a limited hours only. But if you are a current account holder, you can visit to a bank for any number of times. Frequently you can go at any time. You can go in a morning session, you can go in an evening session. If bank is open, bank is here to offer its services to you. Bank can't refuse. And for this extra services rendered by a bank for a current account holder, you have to pay an extra charges to bank authorities. And this facility is being given to a businessman for the continuation of economic activity, to have economic growth as well as economic development. So all these two comes under demand deposit. Then we have time deposit or term deposit. This is also divided into two. The first is fixed and then recurring deposit. As it is clear from the term time deposit or term deposit, it means it is based upon certain terms and conditions, and time is the main deciding factor over here. FD, fixed deposit. Customer is interested as per his affordability, as per his capability. Bank is going to provide these services to its customer. Okay, if you have this much amount, you can keep this amount in the form of a FD for these many years, for these many months. Whatever is the amount, whatever is the time, it is absolutely going to be decided by the customer only, because bank is an agent. Bank is always here to guide you, to advise you, to suggest you, to facilitate you, but bank is never ever here to force you ki yes you have to do this thing. No, never. So bank will guide you ki if you have got this much of liquidity, you can keep this liquidity in the form of fixed deposit with you for these many years. So once you have decided, you can keep that amount in a bank for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, absolutely your choice. But once you have decided, after that you will get a affidavit from a bank, and you will get your principal amount back from the bank only after the expiry of the time which is being mentioned in that affidavit, which is being mentioned in that document, because it is a term based. Certain terms and conditions are there, right? So in fixed deposit, the customer will get back his principal amount after getting calculated rate of interest after the expiry of the time only. Once your time will get mature, you will get back your amount with interest. Of course, interest is highest in case of fixed deposit. On the other hand side, we have got recurring deposit. What is the meaning of the term recurring? We all know means repeating. It is going to be repeat itself. So in case of recurring deposit, how it is different from fixed deposit? In fixed deposit, we are here to make payment in the form of lump sum. One time, it's over. Whereas in case of recurring, repeating, we are all here to make payments in installments. And what installments are to be given? Again, it is your choice. You are here to tell a bank ki yes, I need to deposit 500 rupees hypothetically for on the monthly basis or weekly basis, quarterly basis, yearly basis. Absolutely has to be decided by you only. But once you have decided, you have to pay that much amount for that duration of time to the bank on recurring basis, and you will get back your money after the maturity of time only. So this is your time deposit. Time deposit means certain time factor is mentioned, and considering that time, you are going to get back your money with calculated rate of interest after the expiry of that time only. Students, these are the ways through which a commercial bank can accept deposits from the public. Hope it is clear. And in a paper, you may be asked a question about the difference between time deposit or a demand deposit. So I think you will be in a position to answer these questions. Thank you.